Russia is a country that has a lot of resources, natural, intellectual, cultural, to work with, and so they're not only aspirational, but they have the means, the relevance, population, economic-wise, technology-wise, to fuel that kind of growth. There's a lot changing. I mean, the Western European countries right now are trying to work out their collective debt issues. That overlaps a lot with the regional integration and regional politics. And so in comparison, Russia has been the center of a bloc where they've carried a lot of influence. They still do have a lot of influence. And at least in their neighborhood domestically, they seem to have a bit more cohesion and influence than somebody like Germany, who would be the lead in Western Europe. They have their internal divisions that they're dealing with, but I would argue it's more unified than Western Europe as a whole. And I think another important factor is the broader expansion of the euro economy. So, during the Cold War, there was a very clear split between Western and Eastern, and Russia had a huge amount of influence on the eastern side. And since the wall has come down and that split has been fading, a lot of investment has progressively moved east. And for those of us that don't live in Europe, there actually is a very long history of, Europe wasn't always west and east. It was, in fact, much more of a continuum for most of history. And so breaking down that barrier is really creating a lot of commerce in what originally were the peripheral countries for Western Europe. But that trend is extending all the way through to the Middle East and Egypt and into further east into the countries around Russia and so forth. So that dynamic is, I would say, a macro trend affecting the region.